should, but whatever.
Why is everybody like doing their hair and shit? Subhah got on lipstick.
Subhah is done up. Like,
I'm not done up. I only look good because I have a ring light, you know, for like.
You admit to looking good.
The ring light does not make your lips full and shiny.
That's just lipstick.
That's what filter is that?
You look great. I only did, look, I had my hair in a bun and I just put it down so it looks like it's, you know.
I don't even know if it's dry because I washed it last night and it's just too much to deal with these days.
Well, all of y'all look great just because you guys are naturally very fine, beautiful women. We're rolling, so this is the Facial Recognition Comedy Podcast. I'm Fizza Dasani. Pallavi and Zara are working right now, but we have Subhah, Agarwal, and Ayanna Dookie on.
Can they see us, or is this just audio?
We'll have some video as well available, but like the, you know, iTunes is just audio and stuff. You look great though. I think you look good. Are you freaking out right now? Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had to
live your life, girl. Get your cat in the frame, you know, like do some stuff that'll get our audio listeners to check out the YouTube also. Like, you know, make it worth their while.
What are you eating?
I'm eating kale because I don't know when this is going to end. My clothes don't fit anymore.
I haven't tried on pants since quarantine started, so I don't even know if I'm going to be able to fit my clothes.
I believe in you. My bra's tight right now. I went to the store.
You wore a bra.
To the store. Girl, I'm a 34 triple D. I cannot be walking around just swinging these suckers over my shoulder.
Have you tried wearing them as a backpack?
I could probably.
Hey,
we got Zara. She's not connected yet. I was telling Subhah, Zoom does this thing where you can see whoever's connecting before they know they're connected. So we saw you beforehand, and it's just FYI. So like, you know, if you're picking your butt on camera, a heads up. How are you holding? Ayanna, you're in Brooklyn, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is it there? Like, that's supposed to be ground zero of all of this shit.
Like I'm right near a hospital, so I made the mistake of on one of my walks, I don't know, probably 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah. All the days are together. But you can see all the overflow already. And Jason, he drove past a couple, because he still has to work because he's a cop. Jason's my fiance for people listening. But yes, he still has to work, and he drove past, I think, Bellevue, and he said he saw the outdoor morgue. So God. People are still being stupid, not wearing masks. Like I just came in from picking up some groceries and I saw people just walking around like it was just a regular old day.
Doesn't you, I mean, in LA, you have to wear a mask to be lit into a grocery store and shit. Do they not do that in New York?
I believe I just got the text message because I'm subscribed to, I don't know if it's like 311 essentially. And it says face coverings are an added precaution to protect others in case you have contracted COVID-19.
Oh, but, okay. So you guys aren't there yet.
Oh, Zara's on.
Hi.
Hey.
I can finally hear everybody. Hey, happy quarantine.
Yeah, so I was just saying, like, in Brooklyn, they're just walking around outside without masks, whereas, like, here in LA, we have to wear masks to even get served for takeout at restaurants.
But y'all are just healthier in general, I feel like, in LA.
Yeah, well, I just got a news alert saying that right now, like today was this, like we're going, like we've flattened the curve for sure, but now I think we're having less cases.
Well, also LA is spread out. Like there's no massive public transit system. It's harder to spread things like face to face, you know.
Yeah, we're not really on top of each other like y'all are in Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens. But okay, so I came to the suburbs for the weekend, but before I left on Saturday afternoon in my building, people were legit having a pool party. So I wouldn't say everyone in LA is acting all responsible either. Like there was a full on pool party in the courtyard of my building where the pool is. And I was going to be that chick that says something, but then I'm like, you know what? I don't want these people infecting me. So let me just keep my distance. Like, I don't want anyone breathing on me, so it's fine.
LA is like fake wellness. Like nothing about keto is fucking healthy, like long term, but your body's eating itself. You
know, disagree with that because actually I started doing, when I was preparing for Carnival, I started doing keto and intermittent fasting. And
no, like, intermittent fasting is good. I just meant like keto long term, especially when you're already skinny and these like bitches have 2% body fat and they're like, I'm not gonna eat bread. I'm like, your spine is gonna snap at Coachella.
It's
like
not keto. It's the cocaine. The cocaine is keeping everyone skinny. It's not keto. It's none of these other diets. It's just
you don't have an appetite.
Purely cocaine. It's purely cocaine. That's it. That's it.
I still am an advocate for keto because I'm not saying go out and eat cheese and bacon every day. But like if you're removing like a lot of the grains and legumes and things like that, they actually cause inflammation in your body. And the only reason I know this is because I've been trying to figure out ways to deal with my lupus, especially since Trump is essentially taking my medication.
Yeah, they're using lupus medication, right? So have you been able to track down your own medication? Are you able to get it?
I don't want to say that in public because I might get robbed. Yes. Actually,
okay. Nobody robbed Ayanna. Okay.
I would love to see a pharmaceutical robbery because I couldn't even pronounce the name of that medication. I'd be like, give me your hydrochloric.
You know, check the milligram dosage right before you take it. Like, okay, 5 milligrams.
Also, Ayanna, you're probably sitting on a gold mine right now. Like, you could probably pay for this wedding just with your medication. I'm just saying.
It'll physically fall apart, but she'll have a great wedding.
Yeah, I would die after I sold all of it. I have a great funeral. I could pay for a funeral.
You could pay for a funeral.
Dude, I didn't even tell you guys. So I went to a funeral online, like a live stream funeral.
Whose funeral?
My high school best friend's mom passed away, and I don't know how, and I don't think it's appropriate to ask how.
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't know if it was like COVID related or not?
Well, I don't know because the word on the streets is that it was COVID, but a mutual friend told me that's what they heard. But it was an open casket, and don't they have to burn the bodies if it's COVID? Otherwise, it's so contagious. So it couldn't have been COVID.
Wait, are they burning the bodies?
They have. I know in New York they have mass graves.
Yeah,
specifically.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think you have to burn the body because I've seen like the mass graves and shit.
Well, it was an open casket and people were sitting right by it, and I think I joined a little early. I wanted to hear the service and everything, but I caught the viewing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So how many people were actually at this funeral? And also Florida is like pretty lax and kind of delayed in their response to this whole thing, right? So people are like still fully functioning in society, out in crowds and all of that.
I mean, at the funeral, half the people were wearing masks, and I think they had a limit on who could be there, how many people could be there, and that's why they were streaming it online. So like everyone else, which is actually kind of cool. I feel like I'm seeing you guys more now than than randomly out in the street, and I get to see your houses and that's so. And I wouldn't have gone to the funeral if it wasn't streamed because I don't live in Florida.
Right. So, Zoom is bringing people together, funerals and weddings, and God knows what else is happening virtually. From the funeral, my cousin got married last weekend. And she's in Orlando, and she refused to cancel the wedding because she's from Florida, I guess. And people just don't understand the urgency of things. So
I'm not offended.
Her fiance is from Jersey, and literally the day before, he had already flown down to Orlando, but the day before, the governor of Florida issued the ordinance that anyone coming from the tri-state area, so New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, anyone coming to Florida would be put in self-isolation for 14 days. So basically his family couldn't come. My family couldn't go from Jersey. And so he was already there. So they basically had the wedding, and the imam Skyped in to do their whole nikah ceremony. Wow. So they still got married in her parents' house. And that was the wedding. It was just the family and the guy. Can you believe that? Like, I would have just canceled and done it later in the year.
That's crazy.
I mean, because I was thinking about having Kunal marry me and Jason because I need health insurance. Because my health insurance just ran out with WGA.
Oh, Canal Aurora, Casey Aurora.
Yeah, Casey,
Yeah.
because he said that he can, and
Oh, he's ordained.
Yeah, he's ordained. So I mean, we were really
ordained
confident.
Casey?
I know. I had
The internet.
Not the first.
The internet
choice,
is
okay?
ordaining every comedian out there.
all you have to do is
Seriously.
like apply, right? You just fill out a
Yeah.
form, show them
Yeah.
your driver's license or something. Bada boom.
Hey, I'm having one of you guys get ordained for my wedding. I'm not paying anyone to marry us. One of you
pay
girls
for
do
the
it.
class or whatever. Like I'm sure there's a licensing fee.
I'll pay for the license, whatever. It's fine.
If Casey does the ceremony, he's gonna eat through the entire thing. You know that, right?
I know he is. And Jason loves him, so it would just. I would be the one that's more annoyed in this situation. Both of them would be having the best time. But the courts are closed, so we can't even get a marriage license.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, you need that. They're not doing that stuff online.
Already looked it up. You have to
man.
physically go in there to get it, and since the courts are closed, I'm like, there has to be a workaround because if I get sick, there's a problem.
Oh my God. So no one's getting married. No one's getting married or divorced until after this whole thing is over.
So wait, your cousin's marriage was just the ceremony.
It was just the nikah ceremony, but I think they had already filled out the marriage license and stuff like that week before Florida shut down. But
which is smart because you can just hold on to it. I don't know why because both of us are procrastinating, hence the reason we don't have a date. You can't have two people that procrastinate on everything trying to get married because they're never going to get married, which is a problem.
So do you guys have a date yet or no? You don't have a date? You're not time frame?
His cousin, he hasn't even hit up the pundit to figure out what day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
So at this point, would you probably like if you guys like have a corona baby, would you wait for the corona baby to get here to be involved in your wedding?
She's like, Corona, what?
Ayanna hates me right now.
Who the hell is trying to bring a kid into the world?
I'm too stressed to have sex. That's where I'm at right now. Like it does not. My therapist told me, she said when women get stressed, when they get anxious, their sex drive goes down, and with men it's the opposite. So I have no desire to do it. And I said to him, I was like, because he was like, I'm gonna get you pregnant. We have time. I was like, and I get pregnant, then what? Where are we having this baby? When am I gonna go to doctor's appointments? He's like, oh, I didn't think that thing through. I was just like, you never think anything through. I already broke up the engagement. I don't know how
You
y'all
did?
are y'all living with your significant others?
I am.
How many times have y'all broken up?
Once.
Only once during quarantine.
Oh my God. How long did it last?
I think like a day or half a day.
So basically it was just like a fight.
Yeah, but it was a fight.
Yeah.
This shit is like hard, you know.
It's hard. You're not supposed to be around each other this much.
Not this
like
much.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
I kicked him out. I sent him back to his parents' house, so he was over there for 3 nights. And I gave him back his room. Listen, I was not about the shits. So he's back.
That's great. No, Asher's, I come here on the weekends, so I'm only here like maybe 2, maybe 3 nights a week. But I have to come here because hey, Paula's here. Hey.
Oh, and you got a puppy.
Hey.
This is my neighbor's dog, Moon, that I've been watching.
And Sue, look at Suba has her cat.
Kitty.
Wait, are we sharing dogs? Let me go find Dizzy. Hold on.
Okay,
I'll be right back.
Oh
my God. So all of y'all have significant others or pets. I'm just here being a single mom to myself. Just struggling. Just like I stuffed like 3/4 of a granola bar down my throat before this so I could connect thoughts.
Do you want to borrow Batman?
That's just cruel. That's just cruel. I can't even,
Why do you
I want to borrow your dog.
Why?
I know.
I want a hug.
So big.
Aw. Hi, Ayanna. I haven't seen you in a bit. Oh, is she frozen?
She has the Brooklyn internet. all of us are in LA with our space and natural light and shit.
Come.
There she is. She's back.
I don't know where I went.
Or we were talking about your Brooklyn internet.
Yeah, that's exactly. There's too many damn people in New York. That's the problem. I'm trying to move out to LA.
Really?
I am.
I wanted to move to New York like right before this, and I am a little bit grateful that I didn't. I like wanted to move to New York so bad, and now I'm like, ooh, scary.
He's not coming.
I think we saw him for a little bit.
Diz, come on.
Let's do it.
He's like usually all over me, and right now he's being camera shy. Come on, Diz. Come on.
I feel like dogs can tell when you're trying to take a picture of them and immediately like stop doing the cute thing. They're like, oh no, never mind. Is this for Instagram? Fuck you.
Yeah, this is so not an Instagram puppy. He's just like his dad. It's Asher's dog, and Asher like hates anything on camera or any attention or anything. Like they're the same person. It's so weird. Like they're the same person.
Do you consider yourself a stepmom?
Yeah, I think I'm a stepmom. This is my stepdog. That's what I call him. For sure. Come on.
So like,
no, he's not having it.
Pet custody, like Subhah, Ayanna, is it like 50-50 with the animals, with the cat daughters and sons?
That is a cat. It's not my child. That's where I'm at with the cat. She's a bitch. Like, I think that they got her off the streets too late.
Yeah. Already damaged.
Yeah.
How I feel about me.
It's rough. I have scars. I have lots of scars. Yesterday she bit me.
Oh God.
Like, she looked me right in my face and was like,
where did she bite you?
My arm.
Oh.
She just does. Like, today Jason was sleeping and then she just started just screaming and then woke him up. Like, she was screaming that loud. Like, he just was working a 12-hour shift and she was like, rah, 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 rah. And he woke up and he's like, I was dreaming about a cat. I was like, no, it's Bushwick.
So when like you sent Jason to his mom's, did you send the cat with him or did you have to take care of the cat?
I had to take it. It's my cat. But then he was just like, well, he's like, I missed Bushwick. So that's why I'm coming back. I was like, no, you're coming back because I said you could.
Why'd you name the cat Bushwick?
Because when I got her, that was the city I was, is that considered a city, Subhah? Is Bushwick?
It's like a neighborhood within Brooklyn. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got her from there. And Bushwick, before the white people started moving, it used to be really rough. And I feel like she was part of the pre-gentrification of Bushwick. She's so
You have a ratchet ass cat.
You ever look at an animal and know that they just looking at you like, bitch, I will fuck you up.
Did she just start twerking out of nowhere? You have a twerking cat.
Yes, I did. I saw one of those online with the cat and was like,
Have you seen the cats who use the toilet?
Yeah. They like got trained to flush.
Yeah,
I thought that was just a thing in that movie with what's his name, Ben Stiller.
No,
there are cats that are trained to flush.
What?
It's like better. It's better than my roommates.
I didn't know you could actually train a cat. Like you can train cats. I thought cats are just untrainable.
No, they're trainable. They're trainable. They just choose not to obey you.
They're just bitches. They're just difficult on purpose.
Beep beep. She'll come running like.
So the device like that helps train them is actually interesting. You put it on top of the toilet seat. It starts off with like a big hole with litter in it, and then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, or bigger. The hole gets bigger rather, and then the cat learns to gradually balance and just take a shit in the hole.
Someone without a cat.
I love cats, man. I love cats. I sent Subhah like 8 texts about her cat. I'm surprised she even joined this and is not like, fuck this weirdo.
Wait,
like,
did I miss Subhah's cat? Did I miss it?
You have 2 cats, right?
Yeah, this one right here that's licking herself. This is Ursula.
Hey,
She was like, you're blowing up my spot. What are you doing?
We caught her mid-lick.
Ursula's a little more aggressive. Like, she likes to play fight, and she'll always sit like either on top of my head or like by my shoulder. And then the white one, Maleficent, she's very, very friendly. Like, she wants to sit on somebody's lap at all times. Like, she's the nicest cat I've ever met. Like, very dependent on people. I can probably go grab her. Hold on.
You went from like 0 cats to 2 cats real quick.
Suba moved to LA and became a whole different Suba. I'm like, who is this bitch on the phone right now?
You're a cat mom. You're a cat mom now. That's cute. Were these both Sean's cats, or did you like just acquire them together?
We
got them
together. It was funny because like Sean was like talking about how much he loved cats growing up, and I was trying to be like super supportive of him. So I was like, "Oh, that's great. We should get a cat." And then he got a cat because I was so supportive. He thought I wanted a cat. So we both the other person wanted a cat.
But sorry, I misheard you. I thought you guys bought each other a cat at the same time.
No,
I really wanted to.
That would be awesome. No, we got this little lady, but she had so much energy that we had to get her another cat to hang out with because it was too much. Like I would come home and it was like aggressive. Like she wanted to play. I'm like, you need a friend. So we got the other cat and now it's like much better.
So they play together? Do they ever like fight each other?
Their playing looks a lot like fighting.
They're like mini tigers.
The only time it's bad is like the little one has a little spring toy that she likes, and then she's a little more aggressive. So sometimes she'll try and take it from her to fuck with her, and then they'll start hissing and actually fighting. That's the only time, but they get along really well.
My last cat, I did the same thing because Sir Jinx was lonely, and then he started molesting the other cat.
Oh no.
And I thought they were playing until he got on top of him and humped him.
Oh
my
no.
God.
Yeah,
my
it was
God.
like I was watching it like, what's about to happen now? And then he started making this noise, like this really deep guttural noise. And I tried to push him off, but like he had like latched onto the other cat. Another cat was like half his size. And he started like.
Okay, so here's some more stuff I know about cats.
Why do you know so much about cats?
I love animals.
Are you the cat whisperer?
Cat sex is very painful for the woman because the male cat's penis is barbed.
Man.
So that's why the cats are like when
I have two
animals screeching. It's they're getting it on, and it's not necessarily. I don't know. Is it pleasure? I don't know.
I had 2 boys though.
Oh, and it makes it like a power thing?
Oh, that's worse. That's gonna hurt worse.
Oh my God.
That sounds like a lot of barbs.
Yeah.
A lot of barbs!
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna get like Nicki Minaj fans in this podcast episode.
Oh my God.
So I guess like cat consent isn't really a thing then?
Oh no.
The cat's out here just getting Me Too'd left and right? That's sad.
I feel like we shouldn't speak for the cat community.
I
don't know enough.
I don't know. Man, is there such thing as cat lube? Maybe like all cats should have lube because
I feel like
barbs, I don't know. I feel bad now.
I feel like probably in LA there's a thing called cat lube.
What is there? Do cats get wet too, like humans?
I don't know this. Don't look at me.
Wait, Fizza, you're the expert here. Come
Don't
on
look
now.
at me. I don't know.
You've been watching like cat porn recently, right? Tell us.
Yeah, come on.
Oh my God. Now I have to Google this shit?
I don't know,
put that shit on your search history.
Am I going to be on? Yeah, I just go down to my search history.
We just figure you have a PhD in cat coitus by now. Cat cunnilingus. I don't know. It seems like something.
I think they go down on each other. I've never seen a cat licking.
Their tongues are so
I feel like Ursula was trying to help herself, but I've never seen another cat.
Guys. Okay, so intact male cats have barbed penises. Intact. Okay, so I guess male cats with penises. And upon withdrawal, the female cat will often scream. It is believed that the barbed penis stimulates ovulation. There's got to be a better way.
Oh, okay.
Ugh.
Okay,
So upon
I'm
withdrawal.
not gonna Google female cats get wet? Yes, I am. And it's something that's do female cats spray? Oh, that's.
I'm pretty sure. Don't all cats spray? That's like a defense mechanism, right?
Is that equivalent to squirting? What is that?
That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't say anything about their vaginas, but there's like a lot of talk about spraying.
See, See, science doesn't care about like female cats' vaginas either. Human cat vaginas, like just nobody cares about vaginas.
They're all men and they don't care about understanding.
I love how I'm screaming
tired of
about
all these
vaginas right now.
male cat scientists with their male cat lab coats. never letting women in the lab.
Oh my
cats
God.
Our male cat orgasms are a myth. They're not a myth.
I mean, come on. Subhah's cat has been trying to give herself an orgasm this entire podcast so far.
She's trying to mind her own business.
That's why her cat had to have surgery to take out that rib. She was like, no one else is doing it for me. I got to do it for myself.
Oh my God, you're giving me ideas, Pallavi. Stop.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, you have a pet, and then the three of you guys live with your significant others, right?
Yeah, I do.
Me? Part-time. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited for me to grow my hair out, which is happening involuntarily?
I was checking it out, Pallavi, and I know that you're gonna go through that, like what I call endo fro.
Yeah.
You're approaching it right now.
Yeah, it is.
I have like
froey.
my it's because I didn't put anything. I haven't put makeup. I haven't put any like product in my hair. I could have looked nice. I didn't. I'm sorry. I gave up. But like, I'm also growing like a nice little mullet out the back. So I think I'm gonna try and trim that at some point.
Don't do it. Don't.
The mullet.
Girl, just let it do what it needs to do, and then when you can find somebody with professional hands.
All right.
Just wait for the professionals. We only have another month. And then,
so cute. You think we only have another month?
Okay, but as a scientist, you're like our official scientist.
Okay, yeah, but like another month. You think we have more of quarantine after another month?
I hope not.
I feel like we do.
It also depends on
I feel like from the beginning when they were like 2 weeks, I was like laughing already. When my neighbor dropped the dog off, he was like, I'll be back in 2 weeks, like on March like 10th March 14th or something like that. And I was like, this is my dog now.
They just can't give it, like they can't tell us more than a month at a time because that's not going to be palatable. People are going to lose their minds. I think
people already lost their minds. You know, you saw what mayhem was at the grocery stores and everything else. So, and then a bunch of people lined up to get guns and stuff, and then they had to like shut down the gun stores.
What?
So yeah, seriously.
Doesn't that happen like when anything major happens, like everybody goes and gets guns and bullets and then never uses them, and then their bullets just rust and then they have to throw them away?
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, Americans do tend to go crazy when you give them like some really blunt news. So I can understand that, but like also I don't know, I keep hearing like different things. Like some people are saying that like different parts of the country will start opening up sooner than other parts of the country, and LA, the curve is already flattening here, but knowing that like once you let people out, there's going to be another wave of people who get sick. So I don't know when we're all going to be safe.
Yeah, I'm going to stay in for an extra month after they tell everybody they can go out, because I don't trust this shit. I don't trust the government, what they're doing. I don't trust anybody that's going out. I'm going to be in my apartment. I'll come out a month later.
Yeah, well, the government... And I think I'm starting to kind of like believe in all this like fake news too, because like I feel like the media is sensationalizing some things and then hiding other things.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
I was watching Trump's briefing today, and fucking CNN cut off his feed. You know, granted he was like defaming the media and CNN, but it's like if you're trying to be a news source, shouldn't you just let the president speak?
There's actually a lot of debate about that because he's been spreading medical misinformation.
Yeah.
So they've been like playing parts of his news briefing because he is the president, but it's also like news organizations have been struggling with like what's the right balance of like letting the president speak, but also trying to protect the public from the medical misinformation.
Yeah.
Like he's genuinely like harming people, and I think in like one of the earlier briefings, he like everything he said was like refuted by medical fact. So what example were you about to give?
Oh, I was gonna say like the lupus drugs. Like he was literally whispering about them on air because he knew he wasn't supposed. He's a fucking child. Like he knew he wasn't supposed to be saying that. Oh, we think this works because it causes a run on the medication. And now our president is such a fucking corrupt idiot that, like, if he thinks a drug works and now he's put his name behind it, he's going to make the government research go towards that drug, where it's like, maybe that is an effective way, but that's number one, up to the doctors to prescribe it, not for people to be taking it their goddamn selves. And two, there are like a whole plethora of medicines for them to experiment with and try as treatments. And now that he's just latched onto this one drug, it can pull attention and funding away from other possible more effective solutions. Like, it's just a dangerous and dumb way to go about doing things.
I think it's also like, you can't just say like the media in general when you are talking about their accuracy, because the media is like anything out there, and you have to be more specific when you're talking about like the credibility of certain news organizations.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm specifically talking about me personally. I was watching CNN earlier because I usually watch CNN during the day, and the president was during his briefing, and then he started kind of like defaming the media and started getting into all of that, and then they cut off his mic. So then I had to like switch over to another news network to watch the rest of the briefing. And like, regardless of how I feel about the president, like I'm on board with like, you know, like he's spreading lies, misinformation, he's causing more hate crimes, all of that. Like but at least like me as a citizen, just like, let me watch what the president is saying until he's done saying whatever bullshit or whatever he's actually talking about.
But I think it's like,
I disagree with that, because if you continue doing that, people have killed themselves doing that. Listening to his tweets, like the lupus medication Subhah brought up. That's the medication I take. So a week before he made that announcement, Jason had heard on some other news program he was listening to that they had tried this medication on somebody else, a couple of people, and it showed promising results. They didn't say that it actually was a cure. So he was like, hurry up and get your prescriptions, because if that's the case, shit's gonna get real in a second. And that's exactly what it did, to the point where because I'm in a bunch of lupus groups, a bunch of people I know with lupus were unable to get their medication, because as soon as he went online, as soon as he tweeted that, you guys are, I think, Zara, like, you're thinking you're an intelligent, logical person, going to take facts from all different places, put it in your computer brain, and then spit out an informed decision. Right. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people go, well, he's the president.
People are stupid. I understand that. Yeah.
So, and that's how that couple, one guy died and his wife was in the ICU, because he saw on his koi fish pond cleaners that it has the hydroxychloroquine. I probably am saying that incorrectly, but he saw it, and I'm just assuming you're going to be our scientific expert. And he saw it, and the couple took it, and the husband died. So I know I'm not going to take koi fish pond cleaner. Like, I don't care what ingredients it says in it. I'm not going to take it, but they're idiots. And these were grown ass people. These were 60-some-year-old people that have made it to adulthood and have a house and are functioning. And they did something that all of us considered one of the most dumbest things you can do. So I agree with them cutting him off, because he's a liability to the world. What pisses me off too is then his supporters are constantly trying to defend his actions. And that is what's infuriating to me.
If the Trump supporters want to drink koi fish cleaner and kill themselves, I'm all for that. Hey, guys, just do, like, I will, like, whatever. If you're dumb enough to drink koi fish cleaner, do it.
But I think the problem with this whole Corona thing is that it doesn't just affect the people who are taking those actions. And it doesn't necessarily just affect the Trump supporters. I think that the information that we get is very different than information other people get across the country. And because, you know, like, we can make jokes about that, but the fact that he's pushing this, like, worry about the economy over, like, people's actual health means that the people who are going out are not just affecting themselves, they're affecting everybody. So I agree, like, if you are trying to be an impartial, like, media group, it is going to be difficult, because people are dying as a direct result of, like, his actions. And it's like, yeah, we can say, like, Trump supporters, whatever, but, like, we have very close friends whose parents are Trump supporters, and if they, like, listen to him, that's, like, tragedy for everybody.
Well, I mean, we're all dealing with that, right? Like, we all know baby boomers who don't give a fuck and are not listening to advice. Like, you know, like, people's parents are still going out to grocery stores, and, you know, like, it's, some people are just not, you're not going to be able to control them. They're only going to listen to what they want to listen to. It's just, it's irresponsible, but, like, how much of this falls on the president versus like falling on people. Like people have already been guided. You've already been told what to do and what not to do. It's constantly on the news. It's everywhere. So if you're like not choosing not to believe in any of that information out there and like pick and choose the things that like make sense to you so you can go ahead and live your life, then you can suffer the consequences. Like I personally don't feel bad for the people who make bad decisions, but like probably what you're saying, like I do feel bad for people who are in contact with these people who are taking all the extra precautions, you know, but like they're being put in harm's way because other people are irresponsible. Like the idiots who were having a pool party in my apartment in my apartment building this weekend. Like people were having a full-on pool party, so I had to come here to the suburbs to avoid the idiots like in my building.
But I think we also need to like empathize with the people who either I think we have a bad understanding of what people do know and what information they have, because we are like have access to everything. But if you only watch like Fox News in in certain areas and you don't know that many people, you might not have that assumption is like might be wrong, and that they might not have all of the information. And then also it's like I don't think it's a fair consequence for people to die because they're ignorant, you know. It's just a tragedy overall. Healthcare workers are going to be affected by it too. 20% of the cases are healthcare workers. So it's like, it's not just them. I think we have to have more empathy. And like, that's why like, I try to like reach out to people who have the wrong information. And yeah, at a certain point you have to give up on them because it's like, you can't change everyone's minds, but you got to keep trying.
I heard you have a list.
I have a shit list. Yeah.
You have a shit list of people with wrong information?
No, it's not people with wrong information. It's like at the beginning of this, I was like messaging all these comics and I'm like, you need to take this more seriously. This isn't the flu. Here are the CDC stats. Please cancel your shows. Please like stop encouraging people to go to shows. And there were people who were like, oh shit. Yeah. Like I get it. I'll look into it, whatever. And there were a good number of people who did that. And then there were people who like blocked me. There were people who like didn't listen. There were people who were like, we're performing, we're the rebels of comedy, fuck Corona. And I'm like, this is not your stepfather. Like, you don't have to prove anything to Corona. Like, sit the fuck down.
People are dumb.
Like, it's people who I gave the information to, who had the information and chose to ignore it out of greed for their careers, that I'm just like, okay.
Well, we're all on the same boat now, you know, so all those idiots can, I don't know, eat crow or whatever, you know. Like,
I like kind of agree with you, but on the other side, it's like, you know, I being on either side of the coast, like we all forget about what's in the middle of America. And we have access to other cultures and other ways of life and other beliefs and other thoughts. And like, even when I talk to Jason's parents, like they're just so old school Indian Trini that they just don't. His mom invited me over yesterday for Easter dinner. And I'm like, like, and you can't try to explain it to her, like why I can't come over to your house. Like it's hard and I don't think she's dumb. I just think she's just old, and she learned a couple of things. She knows how to make roti, and that's where she stopped.
Hey, that will get you very far in life. Okay, being able to feed people will get you very far.
And she's great. I will say that I agree with Pallavi on this matter. Being someone with lupus, already having a chronic illness with the immune suppressant, and having a fiance that's a cop that I live with in a small New York apartment. Hello. It makes me very scared because, you know, people don't know. So I don't think people are just maliciously trying to harm people. I just think they aren't able to completely grasp the magnitude of what's happening. Mm-hmm. And it manifests itself in a very ignorant way, and it's very hard for people like us to be compassionate or empathetic, because we get it.
Especially because the repercussions are so severe.
Yeah.
There's also people who like the cognitive dissonance is really interesting, because people will you'll talk to them and they'll understand that you're supposed to quarantine and stay inside, and they understand the severity of it, but they don't understand all the intricacies of what quarantining means. Like there were people who I knew who had roommates who they were afraid had corona, and they like quarantined themselves and they were like careful, and then the next week they were at their mom's place, and I'm like, that's not quarantine. Or like they are doing things that put themselves more at risk. Like I have a friend who is giving herself like at-home tattoos right now. And I'm like, while you are capable of doing that and you're sanitizing and everything, it just increases the risk or the likelihood of you getting an infection. Not that you necessarily would, but if you do end up in the hospital or need to go to the hospital, shit could hit the fan. You could get corona, you could spread corona, you could maybe not get treated. It just like, and for me, you know, I'm not eating as healthy as I should, you know, like we all have to try and like decrease the risk in general. And for that, that means different things for different people too.
Immunity boosting and all that.
Yeah.
I will say, because I've been chronically ill for the past like 8 years, it's funny watching other people try to get on board with what I've had to do for the past 8 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, even when I hear, who was it? Chris Cuomo's brother, who had it?
Chris Cuomo, yeah.
So he was on, I think they had a video of him talking about how bad it was. And I was like, yeah, you just described a lupus flare. Like it's funny to me because I'm just like, I don't think people understand the severity of what happens when your lungs are just essentially turned against you.
Yeah.
And if people could understand that, then I feel like they would be like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do in order.
I mean, the real problem is that we don't have a strong federal government coordinating, number one, making sure our like medical community is safe with personal protective equipment, using the Defense Production Act in an effective way to, number one, stimulate the economies because companies are compensated for this. It employs people. And two, it makes it so individual states aren't bidding against each other for these medical supplies. And like, if we had a coordinated effort, we'd have more testing. We'd have antibody testing, which they're piloting in LA now. I think 1,000 people got randomly selected, but it's like, if we have antibody testing and you've had the disease, you can start to open up parts of the economy and parts of your community to people who are not carrying or spreading. And that's a way to stimulate the economy and keep things going. But because we're not doing that, everybody's forced in this lockdown. And it's just like, without like a clear end in sight. It's so frustrating for everyone's like, what's the difference between Hillary and Trump? I'm like, this, you fucking idiots. This
Yeah.
is
God.
This is this is what's also bothering me about people who are like, I am not happy that like Biden is the candidate. I am very not happy about that. I believe women and I'm very upset. And I like cried the day Bernie dropped out. But the thing is, like, for everyone who's like, I'm not gonna vote for him, it's like, this is what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's like, so that's what kind of bothers me about like supporters of Bernie. And I was upset too, but at the same time, it's like, you're just going to throw your hands up and not vote at all. Like, you're also, that means you're helping you not voting is going to essentially deter like, you know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg's replacement, you know, like you could, like, you not voting could like offset the course of just America even further down the shithole, you know? So like, I just wish like everybody could just get more unified on one side.
It's just heartbreaking that these are our choices, you know?
Yeah.
The
choices suck, but I think right now, can we all agree that like the way this administration has been handling this pandemic is probably not the best way to go about things? And maybe we should have someone, you know, like, even though they may not be the best candidate that any of us really want, at least they'll be more seasoned and have the ability to have more intelligent people in the administration and trust those experts to do their job. Because
like you were saying, like, we have to weigh what's at stake. Like, Ruth is very old, right? Bader Ginsburg, like,
she's like hanging on by a thread. Like, we're all
survived
like,
cancer.
For a Democrat,
she honestly should have like maybe stepped down earlier when we weren't all scared, when we weren't all holding on that she might pass or anything, you know? Like, she's done incredible work, but like now we're just all like, we need to get to a safe space before we like let you go. But yeah, it's like, it's weird how we like view her like survival. It's so strange. But I totally, I agree. Like, I think that it sucks. And like, there are a lot of victims of like trauma and like rape and stuff who don't want to vote for Biden. And I understand why you don't want to vote for him. But I do think that it is like, it's really hard for me to hear that you're not going to, just because I don't want there to be any question that Trump is going to be out of office.
I know. It's like
I
people's
think-
lives and their rights are at stake, like
Yeah.
civil liberties. So it's
I'm excited to hear who the running mate's going to be. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting
Who do y'all
challenge.
think it's gonna be?
I don't know. I don't know.
People-
Any guesses? Should we
people said-
take bets?
I've heard
People said
Kamala.
Kamala might be.
Kamala, how do you pronounce her name?
Kamala.
Kamala
Kamala's
Harris.
the Desi way to say it, right?
She's half
you know,
Tamil. She's half my people.
She's half Jamaican. She's an AK. She's one in my sorority, and so I'm in a bunch of AK groups, and it's a
Yeah.
black sorority. So you're just hearing Kamala, like you're hearing so many different versions of it.
Yeah.
But it's funny to me with her, and this is kind of pivoting. When she first came out, I heard a lot of black people very upset, aside from her prison reform, but that she considered herself a person or a woman of color instead of saying she was a black woman. And I got into so many arguments with people about just if somebody is mixed.
People need to chill.
Want to be. If she wants to say she's a person of color, she's a woman of color, that is her prerogative. You as a black person do not get to decide what mixed people can call themselves. It is their business.
I think a lot of people didn't know she was mixed. Like they just thought, like everybody I talked to, I'd be like, oh yeah, she's half Indian. And they were like, what? And I'm like, yeah, her mom raised her and she was fully Indian. Her mom was fully Indian. But yeah, I think you being mixed, what is your opinion on, like, I've seen a lot of, like, I feel like the message of Kamala as a cop was pretty effective during her campaign in dissuading, I think, black voters from like wanting to vote for her. What is like your opinion on that? How, like, did you see that a lot in the circles of the same people who were upset with her calling herself a woman of color, etc.?
I feel like that the prison reform issues were their first issue, and then it was like they were trying to find other reasons to not like her. And I hear a lot of times, even when I correct people and tell them I'm actually mixed, people say things like, oh, you're always trying to distance yourself from black people, always trying to distance themselves from black. That's a term that's thrown around a lot. So
well, how do you respond to that? Like, do they want you to throw away your Indian heritage?
Well, that's usually my response.
Yeah. So it's like, wait, so am I just supposed to throw away my entire, like, one whole side of my family? Like, this is what I don't understand about people who are trying to, like, associate themselves with you, with whatever their identity is. It's like, you could have, like, you could be multicultural. You could be a citizen of the world. You could have influences on several sides of your family, like I don't understand that argument when people are like, oh, you're just trying to deny your black side or your Indian side or your white side or whatever.
Well, it just seems like it's rooted in some sort of insecurity, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think it comes from a history of people doing that. So it's like a history of being like, oh, I'm mixed or I'm light skinned or I have X, Y, and Z that they take as a mark of superiority over like just calling yourself black. It is a way of like distancing yourself in a way. So because there is that historical like pattern of behavior, people project it. They take like a past grievance, a past like something that they've seen that is very real, that is still happening today, and then they apply it to every situation where that may not necessarily be the case.
So Ayanna, have you seen this, like with the people who actually say this to you or accuse you of not trying to be black or not trying to be Indian? Like, is it really the person themselves that may be have some insecurity?
To me, it kind of goes back to what Pallavi was saying about Trump supporters in general. It's sometimes, depending on where my state is, I can either err on the side of just empathy and understanding of exactly what Subhah said as far as people that's happened in the past. And then some days I'm just like, yo, what I say, like when people say, well, you're trying to distance, I'm like, my father's a small Indian man and my last name is Dookie. Like, I don't know where you think I'm making this up. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? It's not, there's not far that I have to go through.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Ancestry.com, come back with like 3% Indian and be like, wait.
But I mean,
I think it's also like ignorance about Indian culture too, or like Indian people in general too, because I've gotten a thing of like, you can't just be Indian, you must be mixed, you must be something else. And it's like people like wanting me to distance myself from being Indian despite being fully Indian. I think it's also an ignorance with that because I think people generally see black and white more frequently, right? So they like know what that is. They've seen it before.
I mean, like, I remember someone asked me what I was in high school back in Florida, and I was like, I'm Indian. They're like, okay, so you're Puerto Rican, basically. Like, that was it.
I hate when people do, like, my Ancestry.com, because I did it and I was very interested because I've heard Trinidad, well, all the islands for that most part, because so much slave ships came into there after slavery was abolished in the Americas, that you have, it's like it's Creole. It's just a mix of just shit. And I did my Ancestry.com, and it was interesting because what I've been told and what my parents have told me as far as your grandmother's this, your grandfather's that, and this, that, and the other did not match the percentages of what came back. And I know that there are, as far as genealogy, I don't know much about it, but it's never a direct 50-50.
Did we lose her? Did she freeze? Oh, that's great. I love it. She's like just stuck like that.
7%.
There we go.
It's like my pie chart is all the colors. And
you cut off a little bit. We lost you at 50.
Yeah, we lost you. So what are the percentages?
What are the percentages? I should actually send it to you guys. I think it was like 27% East Indian, that I had like maybe 3% white. I just do all the white countries in one pot. It was like 57% like African. There was Native American in there. What else was there? There was Chinese in there. There was other small Asian countries that are in that region over there. So it was everything that I kind of knew, because like I know my grandmother has a lot of Chinese in her. Yeah. And then I know my great grandfather came from India to Trinidad. And I know my mom has a decent amount of white in her because her family's from Dominica, which was French owned. So it's just like a mix of stuff, but I'm not going to go around telling people that. Like, so at some point you just got to simplify that shit and be like, listen, you didn't ask me all that. I can send you all the pie chart if you're interested.
That's
so
gonna be
how
like,
Indian?
That's gonna be the post for this episode. It's just gonna be your like breakdown.
So how Indian is Ayanna? That's the question of the hour. How Indian are you? Do you even belong in this group, Ayanna? Like,
I don't know. Y'all might kick me out after y'all see my pie chart. Who knows? Jason was very concerned because he's like, what are our babies gonna look like? I was like, I don't know, some recessive traits. I don't even think he's fully.
They come out like ginger.
Yeah. Like, where did this redheaded baby come from?
Looking
Okay,
like
speaking of
mailman.
Speaking of gingers, I gotta go. So I'll talk to. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that, but I'll talk to you guys later. It's good catching up with you guys.
Yeah, good luck on it.
See you. Grow that hair.
See ya.
Don't cut it. Do not touch it.
I might.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Oh, she's gone. And she's gone. And
she's gonna come back looking like a chia pet. I did that before. That's why I'm
So speaking of just the hair, how are y'all dealing with like just grooming in general? Like I'm having a hard time. Also, like no one's seeing me. You're cutting your own hair. You're doing all the things.
I've been Ayanna's face. I've been doing that for years though, for like a decade.
What do you do? Bring it to the front and then cut it or something?
No, it's like a weird technique where it's like, number one, if you put like a ponytail and then you cut straight, it's supposed to create layers, but I do that and then I do the layers again myself just as a precaution, where it's like I looked it up online where it's like you can, because my haircut is very simple, so it's like you can do layers based on the curvature of your own head. So if you keep lining it up and cutting to the same length each blend, like it gives you layers. I started doing that because my mom was taking me to Supercuts and those bitches kept fucking up my hair. And I was like, I can do what they can do.
Wait, so this is all you? You've been doing this to yourself for years? It looks like your hair always looks great though. So, I mean, I guess at this point you're a professional.
Yeah, but I only know how to cut my own hair in this one specific style. Anything else, I have no fucking clue.
I have not cut my hair in probably close to a year. It is past my waist at this point.
Oh my gosh. Are you growing this out for the wedding? What's happening?
I said I was gonna cut it after Carnival and I just missed my window.
And then Corona happened.
When you like you don't trim the ends, like your hair just keeps growing?
Yep.
Damn.
My mom does when my mom has like long hair, she always used to make me cut like straight. Like that's all she would really do is just like trim it every now and then.
And it
then
got
it's
really long.
growing.
Yeah, my hair's still growing.
I'm trying
But
to
people
get
always
really long. Like I want to have like mermaid like
mermaid hair. I already
like
have the
trans hair,
mermaid
like
hair
I got
going on.
in high
I
school.
do.
But the thing is, like, guys, my hair is like, it's like getting stringy. Like, it's to the point now where it's like something needs to be done. I've been
Well,
sending
get a new
pictures to my
conditioner.
hair guy, and he's like, "Oh, girl, just we're counting down the days." I'm like, "Oh, thanks for your vote of confidence." Like, now I know it's a mess, right?
Yeah.
When I tell Pallavi not to cut her hair because I had the flu many years ago and I got bored and I cut my own hair. And when I went to the hairdresser, it was this fabulous gay guy. He goes, "Ooh, honey, I'm gonna have to pray over this." And I thought he was being sarcastic. And then I looked up in the mirror and he was literally praying over my head before he started cutting.
Oh,
He literally was like, "Father God, like he literally went into full prayer." It was that bad. That's why I'm like,
man.
don't. If you're not Subhah, if you're not accustomed, to, especially like long hair is forgiving. Like you can kind of
That's
just
the thing.
Yeah.
when it's that short, there's no
hide
You could really mess up the shape of your head when you cut short hair. Can you imagine? Like, imagine if like one side of Pallavi's afro is like gone and like it's all growing on this side, you know? Like, you never know because nobody knows. Like, when your hair's that short, you don't know which way it's growing and all that. Yeah, I could totally get that.
Flavi's gonna end up looking like a mad scientist yelling at everybody on Facebook, like, take it seriously.
She's been in coronation too long.
Oh my god.
Quarantine.
I got a shitload of layers like in December, so I've just been like, I'm good. I'm not gonna cut my hair for a while.
It looks good.
It looks
great.
now, but like it was too much. Like I have a small head and I have big ears. I'll show you.
So you have that like Pantene Pro V haircut going on.
Does.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. She did a good job. I'll give it to her. She did a good job. Great. You know what, Soup? I know what I'm going to get you for your birthday.
What, a gift card?
Scissors.
Her
Scissors.
Cut. just for the experience, because your hair looks great, and like it's like fuck it. Like if you can do it yourself, I would cut my own hair if I knew how to. But
I'm just traumatized by super cuts. Like I've never went to a hairstylist after that.
You got to go to one of them bougie, hoity-toity white salons because I did super, and I cried and asked her out, and she started to cry. And then the next day I called and I apologized to her over the phone and said I was overreacting. She messed up my hair because I told her, you probably heard the joke. I told her, I was like, don't cut it too short because my hair spikes. And she cut it too short. And then she was like, how does this look? I was like, you did exactly what I told you not to do. And then it went downhill from there. I just went into.
So were you walking around like a porcupine with like just like spikes out like that? Like, oh man.
Yeah.
That's when you just put glitter on the top of your head and just start like spewing out like glitter anywhere you go.
What you do?
I don't know. It's like a paintbrush, right? You just start stroking people with like your hair. I don't know. That's what I would do. I would just embrace it.
You want to
self-defense? Just start stabbing people with your head.
What kind of problem solving is this?
That's a weapon.
You live in Brooklyn, girl. You can use anything.
Yes.
You need to use what you've got to.
Oh my God. Can you imagine how many people would just clear the way for you, or like in the subway and stuff, if like your hair was just spewing out glitter, Like that's amazing. I wish I had that. It's great. Man.
Oh my God.
Sorry. We gotta wrap. I'm freaking out, Ayanna. I have a weird imagination. I apologize.
Well, see, the thing is, it sounds like this is a thought that you had before.
Okay. I hate it. It's just, okay. In New York, those streets get crowded as fuck, the subways. And I'm like, if I could just do anything, what would I do? And at one point I thought maybe.
Your keys.
Yeah, my keys. No, I once thought about getting an inflatable bat. Just an inflatable bat and just like knocking people out of the way. Technically I'm not hurting anyone, but I think it's still considered assault, even if you hit somebody with an inflatable bat. So this hair situation, just wear a wig that like sprouts out, just glitter everywhere. I don't know. Just, when post-quarantine, if you need a weapon to get people away from you, try it. I don't know. I should just patent this now. I should go on Shark Tank and patent this idea now to get people away from you. It's called like glitter shots or something. I don't know.
So
I'm gonna go work on this idea now. Thank you.
So it like stabs and decorates you?
Yes. It attacks you with glitter, and you're fabulous for the rest of the week probably, because that's how long it takes glitter to wash out of your body. I don't know.
Fabulous and injured.
I feel like this isn't gonna get work at all, and then there's gonna be a news story about how a local woman was mugged. Looking for two men covered in glitter.
But they caught the mugger because he had glitter all over him. So there you go. I think it's effective. I don't know. This quarantine is like bringing all bad ideas out.
You're not trying to cut your hair, Ayanna, are you? You haven't cut that in a year.
No, I mean, I want to get at least a trim. Like I had layers. Mine looked like yours for a second. Now it's just this, because it's so much that like I can't even like sleep properly because I try to tuck it. It just gets everywhere.
That's why that's why I got all those layers.
Yeah.
It was too heavy. I was getting headaches when I put my hair in a bun because it was so much pressure on one part of my head. So
people don't realize how much it just and like last night I washed it, and like literally walking into the shower I was like, here we go, time to do this.
I know. So like when them taking the weight out but keeping the length, so I'm pretty happy with that. But I do miss, like, when you do have a lot of that hair and you do ponytails, you can have some really full, like, big, fat. Yeah. I do miss that, but, I want
to start wearing pieces.
What's up?
I want to wear pieces to give it, like, a more fuller look.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go for it. We're at an hour, right? Should we keep going? Is Paul going to kick us out? What's happening?
Usually he'll send us a little message.
Okay.
You need to, cool. I know you're working, so.
Yeah, I was supposed to be working the last hour, but I don't know. I can't.
I
can't anymore.
You guys are coming, but I'm glad.
I can't anymore. I couldn't miss this. I couldn't miss, look, we never have Subhah and Ayanna on at the same time. This is great.
No.
This is
the
great.
Corona is bringing us together.
I know.
It is. Well, I miss you girls. Hopefully, post-COVID, we can all see each other again and make each other laugh in person.
I want to come to LA to hang and do stuff.
Come hang. You should tell us when you're here. You never tell us when you're here.
Because I'm always there for meetings, and I get very stressed out when I'm there for meetings.
We know you're a very important person. We know writing for 50 and all of that.
Health insurance. I can't be that important without health. Okay.
Health insurance in 2020. We're going to work on that for Ayanna.
Please.
Work on it for all of us. Shit.
Oh, man. Fuck. You're not SAG. You got SAG insurance. SAG insurance good.
What? SAG insurance, like, you get that and then you lose it and then you get it. It's a pain in the ass. I just do. Right now I'm just on Covered California, which doesn't. I don't know what the fuck it covers.
We just need to get to a police husband. That'll solve all your problems.
Oh yeah. Does he have friends?
He does. We're going to find you one, Fizza. It doesn't have to work.
For insurance, I mean, I could find a husband with good insurance, or I could just find good insurance.
Sadly, finding a husband might be easier these days.
I think it will be.
I know.
Truly.
A husband with a job. Good.
All right.
Good luck finding that in LA.
Speaking of husbands, I'm going to go check on mine. He blew his back out coughing.
Coughing.
No, I swear to God.
Trying that social distance sex. Don't lie.
No, I wish that was happening, but every time I'm ready, he gets injured. I don't know we're just in quarantine, injuring ourselves and not having sex. So
right, don't get too injured because you don't want to overwhelm the hospital system,
That's so I'm gonna go check in on him and then get back to work. For you ladies,
check in, go check in.
Okay. Tell your significant others I said hi. Miss you
guys.
all. Bye, Fizza.
Bye,
everybody.
Bye.
No, I mean, we're not ending the podcast right now.
Oh.
Yeah, she just had to go. I mean, we'll end it in a second, but
okay, cool.
You got it.
Isn't this where we initially started?
This is where we.
Sorry, little lady.
Where's the cat? Did you fall on the cat?
She fell on the cat. Subhah fell on her cat. Damn. Was she still licking herself?
No.
Okay, I was just like that. She didn't even see it coming. Damn.
You're kind of
but-
I should try to. I don't want to bring Bushwick over here. She might.
Now this was fun though. I'm glad that we made this happen.
So what are your goals during quarantine?
We're what?
Anybody got quarantine goals?
I mean, I think it's kind of business as usual. Like any.
Aw.
Oh, look at the kitty.
That's Bushwick. Yay.
Aw.
Business as usual, like in the sense that like everything that I would do when I'm not doing stand-up, I'm just doing more of that. So like I guess, but I like the idea of creating specific goals. Do you have any? It sounds like you have some.
No, today I decided I need to finish editing my podcast. That's what I was doing when you texted me today. And it requires a lot of editing because it's like a storytelling format. So it's just a lot of editing. And it's been sitting there because I've been lazy about doing it. And I work out every day, and I have a little calendar that I put a sticker on every day that I work out, and I need to start doing something like that for like something creative, because I will watch Ozark and then say, well, this is creative because I'm learning about story structure.
I mean, it is excellent. Season 3, I was distracted by how well that show is written.
It is. I feel like it's better than Breaking Bad.
Oh wow, maybe I'll start watching it. I heard mixed things.
It's I mean, I don't want to compare because Breaking Bad is so good. I just say that it's a different show. If you enjoyed Breaking Bad, then you'd probably enjoy this show.
Yeah, okay, I can go with that one. Yeah, I'll definitely take that.
And it's very good. I'm a big Jason Bateman fan, and he
Yes.
directs several episodes. Obviously, he's the main guy.
He is so underrated. Like, he's a fantabulous actor.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's coming. I mean, it already. He has a career. And now he's directing. He'll be working for a long time if we survive this. Which, I mean, I don't know, man. This is just. I don't know. I know we should take it a day at a time, but I don't know how this will affect me as a human, you know, during my life. Because I'm sure it will. I just, I don't know.
I've just been writing a bunch. I mean, I have goals. I haven't met any of them, but like I have at least a draft of a movie script, and I haven't written a full-length movie yet. Like I normally do shorter scripts. So this was the first time I had time to actually sit and write it out fully. So I'm trying to finish that. And then there's a whole bunch of shit I wanted to get done, and it never seems to get done, even though I have all the time in the world. But I'm just writing as much as I can.
Yeah.
Is your movie a vehicle for you to act in?
I could act in it, but it's not necessarily a vehicle for me. I just
It's more like a scooter.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, we probably should wrap up. Where, do you guys have anything? I mean, where can people find you online?
You know, the usual places, Zoom.
Twitter. What's your Instagram? What's your Twitter?
My Twitter and Instagram, it's Dookie, Adookie, and my Facebook, which I spend more time on Facebook because apparently I'm old. You can find me there. Just search my name because I'm the only one in the world.
Ayanna Dookie, y'all, and then Subhah.
Twitter, Instagram, it's at Subhah, Subhah, and Instagram, it's at Subhah, Subhah.
I love
That was because of your future wedding ceremony.
Wait, what? Kunal, KC gave Subhah her Instagram handle, Subhah.
Oh, did she?
Subhah.
If we did a facial rec Zoom show, would you want to do it?
Sure.
Dope. All right, so I'll hit you guys up. I'm Fizza Dasani, on the socials, Fizaa, Dosani. I don't know why I bother spelling it. And then Facial Recognition Comedies on all the socials as well. This was fun. Any last words?
Last words? I'm not done yet. Damn, Fizza.
Not like last words for the podcast. We are almost done with the podcast episode. So.
Super about to kill her cat.
You can
That's what's
continue
good.
it.
Stay safe, stay healthy. You know?
Yeah, I mean, especially Ayanna, you too, because New York's. I mean, I keep hearing what a mess it is. My sister works at the hospital in the Bronx, and it's chaos.
Ooh, I saw a video on that.
Yeah, yes. So it's intense. It's got to be intense to be around dying people all day.
Yeah.
So be safe.
Thank you. I mirror everything Suba just said, minus the cat. It's gotta protect yourself and protect others. Just remember that when you do for yourself, you're also making sure that you don't kill somebody next to you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even though the curve is flattening, I think people might get a little more lax when they hear that. And it's
That's
just,
how
you can't.
to me. That's how it is when I'm losing weight. Like I start losing weight, and then I get lax, and then I gain all the weight back. So, you know, that's exactly what I think is going to happen. It's everybody's like, oh, they're going to get arrogant. Like, check us out. We about to be out for the summer. And they're going to, yeah, be out, and shit's going to get bad again. So.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll hit you up about the show. This was a fun hang.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, cats. Bye to the cats.